What's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing very well. And today I'm going to be explaining some solo tips in Gambit, duels, triples, and squads so you can win more matches, so you can ultimately have a better chance of getting the bottom dollar hand cannon. There is a perk on the Ghost called Prosperity that apparently wins have a chance to grant you extra legendary items. Do I think it works? Not really sure. It's like a mental placebo effect, but nonetheless, we're going to go over some tips in Gambit. Just a little background about me. I think I have about 3,000 Gambit matches played. I think I have the world record in kills for Gambit, Gambit Prime, and now Gambit the Third, or at least that's the self-proclaimed title. I'm not really sure. Hate to toot my own horn there, but just so you know, the information that I'm giving you is done by somebody that's extensively test builds in Gambit and had a high success rate at it. So without that ruler measuring thing out of the way, I'm going to go into some tips right now. So a lot of this is going to be solo tips. When you're running doubles, triples, squads, the game gets a little bit easier. But my solo tips right off the bat is have a weapon for invaders. And in my case, it is a tracking rocket launcher. It's not the best, but it does better than a non-tracking rocket launcher. And ultimately, I like a field prep rocket launcher, but the whole thing is to have a weapon for invaders, at least one, if you are a solo player. Second tip I have is don't use double primaries, use double special. So if you see in my build in the beginning, I have heavy-handed, so any kill when I'm surrounded will give me a shotgun bullet. Automatically puts into my reserves and a Telesto shot. And Telesto is the quickest ad slaying gun in the game, and it's not even close. I know a lot of people like the Salvager's salvo, and it's totally fine if you don't really care about winning or you just want to use this or that. And Salvager's is a good gun, but Telesto by far is the best ad slaying gun in the world. And it's kind of like PvP, you know. Do you want to go into PvP with not the meta? And I'm kind of exposing some guns out here. Hawthorne's is the best shotgun in the game too, if you can get the right roll with it, but unfortunately it's sunset. But I highly recommend a double special build. Whatever suits your needs for that, try that when you are a solo player. Also, I have special finisher on the Bond too, and you can use that. You know, you get a 30-year super and you can finish an ad, it drops special ammo. So if you don't want to use a bunch of supers, if you want to save your super for the boss fight, you can do that. You can just keep finishing ads, and if you have a 30-year super, and then keep on feeding you special ammo. The next point I have is keep an eye on the enemy bank for motes collected for blockers at the bank. So many times, eventually, if you basically copied this build or get down to a double special weapon, you're going to kill faster than the other enemy team. And then you have to watch the bank, because a lot of times you bank first, you're quicker, and then everybody runs to the next spot. Well, the enemy team clears their bank, and then they bank, and then you're flooded with blockers. And then so you kind of have to play left field as a solo player. You have to watch, oh, is your team, did you all run to the next spot? Okay, if so, watch the enemy team's bank. You know it's coming, so you kind of just have to play super left field. I know it's a lot to do to make sure you don't die and look for special ammo on the ground and everything like that, but really pay attention to the bank, because I've lost tons of matches where we were crushing them and they just spam with a couple 15s and it's over. So really keep an eye on that. And then my next key point is use super at least once before the boss, before the DPS. And I guess it's a lot easier with an Ezra Exim build than Telesto, because I can usually for sure get 2 supers, if not 3, sometimes 4. So I don't know how many times where we'll be behind in a match and then everybody starts using their supers, and I'm kind of like, well, it's a little bit too little too late. So don't be afraid to use your super. My next point is don't use cell builds. I know a lot of people like cell builds, but in Gambit, if you come across a good slayer, a quick slayer, you'll maybe see 1 or 2 orbs in a whole round, or at least that's the case when I play with people. So I highly recommend don't use to cell builds. My next point is use your super at the 2x Slayer Primeval buff, so kill 2 of the wizards, and then pump everything you have into the boss. And a lot of people, when you're a solo player, everybody's kind of waiting for that health bar of the boss to go down to like 50%, 40%, and then they use a super. I recommend just don't be afraid and lead with your super right away, because then hopefully your teammates will follow suit. My next point is duos. So if you're running with two people, obviously you'll probably have one invader, and then you'll have your slayer. And the key is just to get 25 motes. You guys got to communicate with each other. I recommend that your invader just in the first wave does not even shoot. He just goes and picks up motes. That's his job. Pick up as many motes as possible. And then that's the same concept with when you're running 3-stack or 4-stack. Your invader should just not shoot anything the first 1 or 2 waves. Pick up as many motes as possible. Once you see you have 25 motes, you run back and bank, and that's the key. That is ultimately the ultimate key is get 25 motes and bank as soon as you can. Let's see. The next point is invader spawn trapping, and I'm sure any good invader kind of knows this, but I'll cover it anyways. And then what it is if you're fighting in one area and the invader stands in another area, well, then when the other team invades, it spawn traps them, and it forces them to spawn in that very last area, and that's just called spawn trapping. So your invader knows where the enemy team's invader is going to be, and then also you guys too. So those are just some quick tips I have. If you could just kind of, whatever double special you like to rock, go ahead, give it a try. Use heavy-handed as you see on screen right there. It is very, very, very helpful. And special finisher, if you don't want to use 2 supers, if you want to save your super, that's totally fine. Just use special finisher, and you will always have special ammo, and then you'll be able to kill ads quicker and ultimately win more matches to get you that hand cannon that I think has a drop rate about 4 or 5%, or at least that's in my case. So I hope that helps someone out. That's just a really quick video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.